So last year, I decided to update the Skybox, and yeah, we decided. Oh, well, I decided to get Sky Q because I like to kind of update things, whereas Paul likes to live in the Stone Age. Anyway, so I got the Sky Q box, and yeah, I quite like it. Obviously, I had to ask ask my friend Kathy how to do it, but anyway, I've got really used to it, and yeah, and it's been really good. But Paul hasn't. Paul doesn't know how to use it. He just like, oh, I don't know how to do this and I don't know how to do that and whatever. So anyway, I find it quite funny, but he finds it really frustrating. And but that's just the way it is. So but mainly in the evenings, like he come home from work and we have tea and whatever, and then it's like, who is in control of the TV remote? Come on, girls, or anybody with a partner, anybody who lives with anybody, who's in charge of the TV remote? Well, in here, I mean, I've got to admit, it's usually me, because I said to Paul, actually, you don't hog the TV remote, do you, Paul? And he said, no, because I'm not allowed. Well, that, like, whoa, hang on a minute. What do you mean you're not allowed? I don't, if you want the remote, you can have it. But don't watch that bloody shit that you watch, like all that, like, car stuff and everything. So anyway, but usually when he does, I'm like on my phone playing a game or whatever, so that, that doesn't really matter. But anyway, but so when we do decide to have, I'm like, oh, what film would you like to snore through? Oh, I mean, watch, not snore through, because he'll say, oh, let's watch a film. Oh, all right, yeah, let's choose a film. I usually choose something that I probably don't really want to watch, but I know that he would like, and I get really excited. We sit here, and next minute there's a, and I think, oh, for fuck's sake. I said, oh, it's really good, isn't it? And he goes, yeah, it's really good. I know damn well he's not watching it. Or he will have something on there. So I said, yeah, you can have the remote tonight. So he'll have the remote. He takes it over there, has a remote. I'm like doing whatever on the phone or studying or whatever. And then next minute I hear the snoring and I think, oh, God, he's snoring. So I've got to watch his shit that he was watching. So anyway, so I get up and I go over and I pick the remote up and he'll go, I'm watching that. And I think, oh, no, you're not. You're snoring. I'm watching it. I'm listening. I'm listening with my eyes shut. Yeah, right. So, yeah, but what I have discovered is, like if we watch, I'm a real Netflix binger. If I really like something, I will binge it. I will binge and binge until I've watched it. Whereas Paul likes to kind of savour it a bit. He'll watch one episode a night. Who the fuck watches one episode a night? Anyway, so sometimes at the weekends he'll watch maybe 2 episodes or even maybe 3. But what's exciting that I've kind of discovered is that he will watch something and then he falls asleep. Now I don't shout at him, because usually I shout at him, shut up, or turn the bloody sound up or something. What I do, I just let him do it, because I just watch episode after episode after episode while he's snoring his little head off. So, and then all of a sudden he'll wake up and he'll like, oh, put it on pause, I need a wee. And I'm thinking, oh, all right, I'll put it on pause. And he's got no idea that he's just missed, like, about 3 or 4 episodes of whatever we're watching. And he's got no idea about that at all. So that just makes me laugh. I just carry on. I just carry on doing it. So, yeah, who's in charge? Who's in charge of the remote control in your house? Who's actually in charge of it? Do you argue over it? Yeah, so, yeah, that's... Or, actually, with the film thing, it's quite funny because, we'll watch a film and then he'll fall asleep. And I'll carry on watching the film until it's finished. And then when it's finished, I'll probably put something on that I want to watch. And then all of a sudden, he'll wake up and say, "Oh, why have you turned it over? I was watching that," and I was like, "It finished, you tit. It finished bloody ages ago. You know, it finished like hours ago, and I'm watching something else." So yeah. So who's in control? Who's in control of the remote control in your house? Actually, I'm in control of the remote control here. If I'm not, because obviously we don't go out anywhere, do we? We don't go out anywhere at all. So yeah, I'm here majority of the time because I'm studying. Paul's at work, so yeah. But we don't really have arguments over it. But do you? Do you have arguments over the remote control? Who's in charge of the remote control? I am. But like I say, I do like to choose things that he watches. So anyway, that's my lockdown. I wouldn't say dilemma. Yeah, it could be a lockdown dilemma. I'm not really sure. But yeah, I did have a little look. So apparently men seem to think that they've developed a reputation on insisting on holding the remote. And there was a little survey that found that this behaviour could be down to the to the fact that they don't trust anybody else. So yeah, it's really funny. So who is in control of the remote control in your house? I think sometimes when Paul come home from work, he's quite. I don't know whether he's actually sat and thought about it all day. He thought, as soon as I walk in that door tonight, I'm going to get that bloody remote control and I'm in charge. I wonder if he does that. I don't know. I'll have to ask him. But yeah, and sometimes I don't have the telly on during the day. I just sit. I like the peace and quiet. I'm reading books, studying, or whatever, and I get that kind of thing where I think, oh, here he comes, because you can hear it. Actually, the dog hears him, coming through the marketplace before I do, and I think, oh, get the remote, put the telly on, so he don't get the remote. That's really funny. I do that. I actually do that. But actually, sometimes I don't. Actually, it's very rare that I don't. The other day, I just sat here in silence. So that was actually quite funny. But I do. I might have the telly on all day, and yeah, Moosey will start barking. I think, oh, Paul's now coming home. Get the remote, put anything on. Don't matter what it is, just put it on. Put the telly on, because then I feel in charge. Then I've got the remote. I'm in charge. But, if I go off and do something upstairs or studying and that, I let him have the remote. But actually, thinking about it, it's not very often. So, yeah, I choose something that we could both watch. That's what I say to him. If we can both watch it, something that we both like. So, I don't really mind some of the things he watches. But, yeah, majority of the time, yeah, it's kind of okay. So, yeah, I know I've said it before, but... yeah, who's in charge of the remote, and who watches who watches what on the telly? Do you argue very much? Does your partner go to sleep? Does he snore? Do you have to turn the telly up? Do you have to turn it up? Or yeah, it's really funny. Anyway, lockdowns. Oh, I don't know. I'm not even going to talk about it actually. So yeah, that is what it is. Men. Remote controls, TV, and partners. Who argues over the remote control and who doesn't? Cheers.